What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And today we are comparing the OnePlus Open against the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3. Yes, after making the comparison video between the OnePlus and the V2, I have had dozens, if not close to 100 comments asking, please compare the OnePlus with the Mix Fold 3. So here it is. Let's go. Now, after the madness of the past few days, getting the Huawei Mate X5 in the studio, thanks again Bart, and the news of the Honor V2 or Honor Any Phone GMS push, which again, thanks so much for watching that video last night, posted about 12 hours ago, 2,500 views already, thank you. It's all been a bit crazy, so it's nice to calm things down and do a proper comparison between two of the best foldables in the world. Now, I'm sure you know all the specs already, but here's some high level. The OnePlus Open was released very recently, a few weeks ago, and it comes in at £1,600 here in the UK. However, there seems to have been a deal on the whole time, essentially bring it to around about £1,350. Now, on WONDA Mobile, you can actually pick up the 0.5 terabyte version of the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 for around about £1,150. So during this comparison, please bear in mind that even with the OnePlus deals, the Xiaomi is a cheaper device. So, the V2 video started somewhere a bit different, and I'm going to continue that. Let's listen to the speakers on both devices. I have my opinion. I've already stated I think the OnePlus has the best speakers on any foldable device. But here's a comparison. Decide for yourself. Let me know in the comments. Moving on from the speakers, there's the rest of the hardware, the build quality, the dimensions. Both of these devices feel ultra premium. Where the Mix Fold 3 has a slight edge in my opinion, it's the different colours, and for me, the carbon fibre effect that you can get in. This is not a case, this is the back of the device. The OnePlus in the UK, I believe, contrary to a couple of comments, we're still limited to the frosted back emerald dusk. What I would give for a different colour, a vegan leather, a ceramic, yeah. There's a few things that OnePlus could have done, but they've understandably tempered their expectations and not released too much at one time. Now, as far as thickness goes, the Xiaomi is the winner as it is roughly a millimetre thinner. It's 10.9 millimetres folded and roughly 5.4 unfolded. The OnePlus is about 5.7 unfolded and close to 12 millimetres when folded. Both aren't bricks. They both weigh roughly the same, with the OnePlus actually coming in slightly lighter than the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, but both are comparable to an iPhone 14 Pro Max. So we can no longer say that foldable phones are too clunky and heavy in the pocket. It's just not true. Now, another hardware aspect that we obviously can't avoid is the camera bumps. Two absolutely contrasting takes on what a camera bump should look like. The Xiaomi is far more subtle, the OnePlus is not. One thing I will say is, don't let the subtleness of the Xiaomi fool you. The cameras inside this device are fantastic. 50 megapixel lenses all throughout with a 5 times optical zoom. The OnePlus has fantastic cameras, if not one of the best camera setups on a foldable device with the new T800 series pixel stacked lens from Sony, but it's a 3 times optical zoom, and you guys know me, I'm a big zoom fan. Now, in reality, here's a max zoom shot on the Xiaomi, and here's a max zoom shot on the OnePlus. If you're max zooming things, you're going to be a bit soft, blurry and pixelated no matter what. Where the 5x optical zoom comes in clutch for me is portrait shots, creating thumbnails, removing the shadows. The closer I get to a device, the more likely I am to cast a shadow or a reflection on it. So if I can use the 5x zoom of the Xiaomi to get those thumbnails without any reflections of me in the photo, that's a win. Now, both phones record 4K 60, however the Xiaomi records at 8K 30 frames per second. I don't use 8K, you don't use 8K, but it is there. Where things differ, and again this is a common gripe with Chinese foldables, however it does seem to be changing, the selfie camera is 1080p on the Xiaomi, it's 4K on the OnePlus. I use 4K on the selfie cameras when shooting my videos because I use the screen as a monitor. So 4K is a must for me when it comes to selfie video recording in order to produce these wonderful YouTube videos, which, by the way, take a second to like, subscribe, share, do what you can. Help boost the channel. Now, as far as screen sizes, the outer screen on the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4 is the largest on any recent foldable device. I'm aware that I believe the Mate XS2 or something like that, a Huawei, was like 7.2 inches. But the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 is 6.5 inch diagonal. The OnePlus is 6.3 inch diagonal. The Xiaomi is one of the tallest, if not the tallest, foldable phone when folded. For me personally, I prefer the form factor of the OnePlus, not as short and stout as the Google Pixel Fold, and certainly not as narrow as the Samsung Z Fold. The one thing I will say is if you're looking for essentially a complete candy bar style phone on the outside, the Xiaomi takes the crown for that. It's like using an S23 Ultra, and then when you feel like it, unfold it and you've got a tablet. 8.03 inches on the inside for the Xiaomi, 7.86 or 7.9 on the OnePlus. Both absolutely large enough to do any multitasking, productivity, consume content. And with the speakers on both, if you don't have headphones with you, at least you can rely on them for a little bit. Now, still sticking with hardware before we talk about some software potential issues, battery. Battery life on both is very comparable. 4,800 milliamps roughly, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip on both. Guys, you're going to get a day of heavy use out of both phones quite comfortably. If you're a light to moderate user, you might even stretch to 2 days on both phones. When it comes to charging the devices though, this is where things differ. Wired, I believe it's 66 and 67 watts for both phones, so wired is the same. Wireless, Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 can charge wirelessly at 50 watts. The OnePlus can charge wirelessly, never. There's no wireless charging. For whatever reason, this thicker device doesn't have wireless charging. Again, it's a first gen OnePlus foldable. I know Oppo is technically like a third gen, but I'm pretty sure they'll add wireless charging next time. So, software, chipset. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on both, completely same. Again, that ties in with the battery efficiency. That's why you're getting the same, because they're both using the same processor. Adreno 740 GPU, all good. Skins are different and ROMs are different. The Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 is a Chinese ROM. However, with Xiaomi, you simply need to download the Google Play Store APK and your phone will work just like any other Google device, including Google Pay. The one thing you won't get is Android Auto. The OnePlus Open is an EU ROM. You're going to get Android Auto and obviously everything else. So software experience from the ROM side of things, it's easier on the OnePlus because it's a EU or global ROM. On the Xiaomi, like most of the phones I show off on this channel, you are going to have to spend some time deleting bloatware, setting up notifications through the battery saver mode as well. Once you've done all that and downloaded the Google Play Store APK, the phone works just like any other foldable global ROM other than Android Auto. Now, as far as software skins, we've got Oxygen and we've got MIUI 14. Both are very comparable. They're by no means a stock Google experience. There's plenty of customization. There's always on displays, which both phones show your icons. The Xiaomi, one thing it does do is it does have those little nano icons for Instagram, WhatsApp, any apps you download. They're not native, unlike the Vivo, which seems, and Honor, which seems to be only native apps support always on display icons. The Xiaomi and the OnePlus, you'll see all your notifications on the AOD. Where things do differ though, and I find the OnePlus takes a slight edge, and that's not just over the Xiaomi, that's over, I'm going to say all foldable phones, is just in the multitasking. Multitasking, 3 apps side by side. Guys, I've talked about this a few times. Having 3 apps side by side and being able to zoom in or pinch out to see it is so handy. I can't explain. You can get split screen on this device. However, you can't split screen vertically without doing some form of workaround that I've never done. Horizontally, I mean, on the OnePlus you can split screen horizontally as well. So yeah, so for consuming YouTube and viewing comments or doing whatever, it's handy to have that horizontal split screening. Now, another thing that the Xiaomi doesn't have that the OnePlus does, and for some people is a deal breaker, is stylus support. This is why it confuses me that OnePlus didn't just include wireless charging. I feel like if they included wireless charging, there would be no drawbacks, but they didn't. They did include stylus support on both screens. So the outer and inner get stylus support, drawing, screenshots, all the stuff you could do with a pen. You can buy the Oppo pen. If I remember, I'll link it down in the description below. It's $129 on GizStop. The Xiaomi doesn't support stylus support. So yeah, OnePlus takes the win for that category. So I get asked all the time, which is better, the OnePlus or the Xiaomi or the V2 or the Pixel or the Huawei. It's all subjective. I change my mind as often as the weather changes in Scotland. The one thing I will always tell people is watch as many reviews as you can, and if you're buying one of the foldables I just mentioned, you're getting a fantastic phone. Now, when it comes to the OnePlus and the Xiaomi, I personally prefer the OnePlus because of its multitasking, stylus support, and just no workarounds that I have to do, like APKs. However, the Xiaomi has wireless charging. It has a 5x optical zoom. It's a thinner device. It looks better in my opinion. So, with that logic, you would think I would choose a Xiaomi, but I don't. When you get phones in hand and you start playing with them, that's when you really get a good feel for it. So, again, that's just my opinion. You can cast your own. Let me know in the comments what phone you're using. And if you are going to switch to the Xiaomi, use the link to WONDA in description. So many people have bought the Honor V2 based on my video last night. I appreciate you all. Buy the Xiaomi through my link. You can actually pick up, I believe there's a 256GB version for about £1,000 on WONDA. Guys, that's $800 cheaper than the Samsung Z Fold 5. And I can't describe enough how far advanced the Xiaomi, the OnePlus, the Huawei, the Honor, as far as build quality and hardware, are ahead of the Z Fold. So, hopefully this has appeased some of you people asking for the Mix Fold 3 and OnePlus comparison. Hopefully you can smash the figures at the Honor V2 comparison done. I think we're at about 10.5, 11,000 views for that one. So yeah, if you could smash that target, I would be eternally grateful. And if you haven't already subscribed, you might want to do so. I have 5 foldable phones coming this week. Yes, you heard me correct. There's even a couple of candy bar style phones thrown in there as well. So, subscribe if you want to see content on all of those. And until next time,